show. This is just the informal walk around and talk about whatever. We talk about drones, we talk about travel advice, we can talk about how to find discounts, whatever y'all want to talk about. Talk about grilling. So again, I like to stay in touch with the viewers, and this is a great way to do it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. I want to thank everyone again during not yesterday, I guess it was day before the live show. Got a lot of super chats. Those were tremendously appreciated. Enjoyed some good rum. Hey Jake, looks like I'm the first. I think you are. I see other people tuning in, but you're the first to comment, and that's deeply appreciated. Do you have Maya McKenna and pretty good with names, and I forgot one of the names. Maya McKenna, and of course Jake. So welcome. Bunch of cool stuff going on. When's the next studio live? Actually, great question. And I'm going to have a studio live show Saturday, which is tomorrow, because right now I'm broadcasting live at approximately 6:40 p.m. New York City time. Katie, there you go. Katie's the one I forgot. Gotcha. Maya McKenna and Katie. There you go. Gotcha. So hopefully a studio live show tomorrow. That's the plan. Studio's in great shape. I've got everything in there tweaked. I mean, it's, down to the lighting. I've got the primary studio camera. It's white balance is matched to the environment, so nothing looks washed out. Jake says, okay, 8 p.m. because I'm working out for the day. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I'll try to. Actually, it may have to be around 5 p.m. New York City time, 5 p.m. Eastern time in the United States. That's probably around the time tomorrow I'm going to do the live show from the studio. And I can't wait to do it. I've updated the firmware in the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro. And that firmware, it's one of the cool things that the new firmware adds is the ability to live stream from your ATEM Mini Pro using a cell phone, like an iPhone. So you would plug it in and you would use cellular data instead of your network. Jake says, oh, okay, I might miss that, but that's fine. Well, maybe I'll push it back and the show will be a little bit later. We'll just see. I mean, I'm gonna do a studio show tomorrow because I'm behind schedule with the studio shows, and definitely want to do that. These walk shows are cool though. We get to, it's a different format, and I like both. Studio show I like because I've got the cool microphone and the soundboard and the lighting and all that. These walk shows are cool because during the live walk shows, it's just a lot of chat, really dive into stuff. But I know the camera angles are pretty boring for a live show. But, this is just a test of, the cool thing about this is that, you could listen to this show live, or after it's been recorded and you're playing it back, you could listen to it from from like a headset or something and not necessarily have to watch it. But you will see some exciting things on occasion during these walk shows, like that stuff. What is that? Jake says, I'd like to do my own live streams on my phone, but I don't know how to do it from my LG phone. Yeah, it's live streaming it can be pretty complicated. I mean, in its most basic form, you could live stream to YouTube if you if your account allows live streaming. You could go into the YouTube app on your phone, and you could probably get a pretty good live stream. I mean, like right now, for example, I'm just using the iPhone 12 Pro, using the integrated camera the integrated microphone, nothing fancy. So, you can live stream with a smartphone. You don't have to have all the extra microphones and cameras and lighting and all of that. I mean, you can pull off actually a pretty good live stream from a smartphone nowadays. It's incredible how rapidly smartphone technologies have evolved. And it's be interesting to see in what I'm excited about is the Apple launch event in 2021. And typically around this time, late March or so, we start to see new Apple products. And I tell you, I am stoked about the the new iMac, the Apple Silicon iMac, the Apple iMac that has Apple's CPU, because I think that's going to be slick. And allegedly, not only is the new iMac going to have, obviously Apple Silicon, but allegedly is going to have a brand new body style and possibly an even better monitor. And if you've ever owned one of the 27-inch iMac computers, the ones that are 27-inch with a 5K, that display is slick, But that body style, or that form factor, I guess you should say, of the 27-inch currently available iMac, it's been around for many years, so Apple needs to refresh it. Jake says, my one cat, my Savannah kitten, is doing something funny. She is crab puffing. Let's see. She is crab puffing and pouncing on my feet. She likes to do that for some reason. Crab puffing is when a kitten puffs up sideways to look tough. Huh. That's cool. But yeah, man, that new, that to see how good the new iMac's display is going to be it's exciting. Because again, I mean, that 5K display is very nice. Arguably the best monitor that you can buy. Well, I mean, unless you're talking about that insanely expensive, where they call it the Apple Pro XDR display or whatever. I mean, that's just stupid expensive. I disagree with how ridiculously. I'm not a fan of how ridiculously expensive it is. Hybrid Life says 8K. Hybrid Life, you think the new iMac with Apple Silicon is going to have an 8K display, or are you talking about another monitor? See, I don't know. A smaller screen, I don't know if I would need 8K. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Well, Hybrid Life, welcome aboard, man. Good to have you. Always good to. We got to get up and do a live show. It's been a long time. I know we've all been hustling. That's what you got to do. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Hybrid Life says, I find it redundant. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm excited. I think Hybrid Life says, great to be back, sir. We need to get back to the live show status. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we do. I was talking to Jake and said tomorrow it's my plan to have a live show from the studio. Probably around 5 p.m. New York City time, 5 p.m. Eastern. That's the plan. Get on there and do some live show stuff. Be cool. I did, don't know if y'all saw it, did the live show with the founder and lead developer of Eloak. And he was in by Skype. The audio worked great. He didn't have issues. I didn't have issues. He said, Hybrid Life says, that's too early. Now, let's see. You're studying neurology, right? You're going to become a neurologist, a neurosurgeon, I think. That's going to be some Skrilla, some big bucks. That's a good career path, man. I probably, neurosurgeon, there you go. I probably would have done something like that, but I'm afraid of blood and that kind of stuff. And at least, when I'm doing computers or social media, that sort of stuff, if I mess up, I may fry a motherboard or a memory module, but I couldn't. I don't know. Everybody's wired differently, man. It's good that a lot of people are wired like you are, because I know that even if I knew what I was doing, I'd still be worried about it, because it's like, I'm the one responsible for whatever. Neurosurgeon, penny stock investor. Yeah, that's a good combo, man. Yeah, you can be a neurosurgeon and a penny stock trader. That is pretty wild career combination there, man. But yeah, I would, all power to you, man. I know that's got it. Well, I'm not saying that's got to be tough. That has got to be an exceptionally difficult career path. Excuse my grammatical errors. Yeah, no problem, man. Typing in one hand and eating. No, yeah, I understand that completely. That's what I do too, man. I'm either eating and doing. Actually, it's tough. Oh, I bet it's tough, man. I don't know. Just the accountability aspect of that. I mean, just a regular. Well, I mean, now with society, how messed up it is, I can't imagine the accountability aspect of just being just a standard doctor, let alone someone ultra sophisticated or ultra specialized like a neurosurgeon, man. I mean, part of me would be afraid to mess up. And then if I messed up, even if it wasn't my fault, and then I guess you've got like ways to protect yourself. Because, I mean, it's not like you're going to go in there and it's not like working on a computer where you've been out, let's say a computer repair person, they've potentially been out and they've been playing golf. And isn't it crazy what happened with the downfall in society, malpractice? Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, you're saying malpractice insurance to protect you. Yeah. It's still scary, though, because, I mean, it's like, you go out and you play some golf or something and you have a few beers and then you go fix a computer. That's one thing. But see, if you're a neurosurgeon, you can't do that. So if you're out on the golf course and you're on call, you can't have a beer because you might have to go perform neurosurgery. But what if you had like a bad round of golf and then you had to perform a surgery, but you didn't drink any beer? I don't know. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. You've got, yeah, that is a cool profession. And I'm sure the money will be worth it. But yeah, that's got to be, you got to be wired a certain way to be able to do that. And it goes without saying, you got to be intelligent, because, if you're a D and C student, he says that's why there are few neurosurgeons, definitely not doing it for money. Yeah, I mean, if you were a C and D student, you probably wouldn't apply for med school to become a neurosurgeon. So you got to be smart to begin with. And then, I don't know, that's all about work ethic. Yeah, work ethic's important. I know a bunch of lazy people, man. I do. It's sickening, talking about the downfall of society. I mean, how many people just think that there's no incentive to do anything, to try to make themselves successful. And the bad part is, with society nowadays, is that people can, Howard Ice says, just have a normal brain with intense work ethic. There you go. Hey, that works for you. You get that neurosurgeon certification or whatever you call it. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, nowadays there's people that can just take advantage of the system and live a pretty good. You rocking Asics? Now these are, I got these on sale for like $35, man. Under Armour. I wore my other ones out as I walked through the grass and the mud and finally wore out. These are, I don't know, they're pretty good. I like them because, yeah, they're pretty solid. I mean, I'll get a summer out of them, just walking around and doing that sort of stuff. My thing with shoes is that I always buy my shoes when my other shoes are still good. So like I'll wait for a deal, and then I'll buy shoes for the next summer because I know I'll need them for walking and going to the gym and that sort of stuff. So always plan ahead. You know, my price point for a pair of tennis shoes, I like to stay around, you know, in the neighborhood of $30 to $50, because on sale I can usually get a pretty good pair, you know, deeply discounted. And again, I buy them, you know, around the holidays when they're having deep discounts, trying to unload stuff. Something I've also found, you know, with being a bargain shopper, not just shoes, but, you know, anything, you know, dress clothes, that sort of stuff. Maleebs 207, hello, welcome aboard. But yeah, if you just plan ahead, like, you know, I buy all my suits and stuff. I usually buy them around either Labor Day or Memorial Day, because typically those holidays, they have deep discounts at the retailers, and typically there's not as many people buying those types of items. Just like with tennis shoes, I usually buy tennis shoes around Thanksgiving or Christmas holidays, because people aren't really necessarily thinking tennis shoes during colder weather months. So, you know, see, the holidays bring people in. They're like, oh man, we got to get together with people. We got to dress up and all that. So the thing about buying suits, you're around those warm weather holidays like the 4th of July and Labor Day and Memorial Day, people aren't thinking about that. I'm going to the gym, brother. Let's connect soon. Yeah, man. Hey, have a good workout. That's important. Great talking with you. Good advice on buying goods when you don't need it because you can bargain. Yeah, you got to get a bargain. Well, hey, have a good workout, man. Thanks for tuning in. Maleebs 207, I got my YouTube channel. Awesome. That's fantastic, man. Yeah, YouTube should be a commodity. I mean, it's such a powerful communications mechanism, and it's a lot of fun. You know, I mean, I wish I had discovered YouTube sooner, but the fact that I've discovered YouTube now, I mean, I'm walking, I'm burning some fat, talking to y'all, cool conversation, talking about discount goods, super chats. You can super chat if you want to. This is a live show, so you can super chat if you want to. Great way to support the channel. It's just YouTube is such a powerful and entertaining tool. Not just an entertaining tool, but also an educational tool. I mean, you can find a lot of valuable information on YouTube that, content creators create because they know they understand the topic and they're willing to share their knowledge with the world by way of YouTube. You know, if YouTube didn't exist, they may not would have a platform that's easy for people to search, that's easy for people to share. And, the value of YouTube is that, in my case, I like to do backpacking. I'll share backpacking tips. I like drones. I'll share drone videos, So it's stuff that others may not know, but if they watch the videos, they get some sort of value out of it. And obviously it's important to, not just, people that undervalue themselves. That's one thing that really irritates me. I mean, there's people that are willing to give, which is fine. But, when you're running a business, a business is not just about giving. Yeah, you can give some things away, but a business is about, profitability. And that's the beauty of YouTube, because if you're familiar with the topic, you can share your knowledge. You can monetize your knowledge. And, and that's the coolest, one of the coolest components is, the thrill of creating the videos. Maleeb says, the old Xbox 360 is bad because of the Ring of Death. Yeah, actually, I got the Ring of Death on one of my old Xbox 360s. Actually, not just one, but two. I used to play games. I don't anymore just because I gotten old and I like to do YouTube. But, I had a couple Xbox 360s with the Ring of Death. It's disappointing. But that's pretty funny, man. So what's your channel going to be about? What's your YouTube channel going to be about? I check it out, but I'm on my mobile device and I'm walking around, so I can't browse, you know. Got to hold this phone steady. I'm gonna switch hands. So I got my other hand right there. Woo, hello. So, yeah, gonna do a live show from the studio tomorrow. I'm excited about that. Really appreciate the super chats that everyone so generously contributed to the channel during my last live walk show. That was great. Got to enjoy some tasty treats thanks to the super chats. And that's one thing I would say, Maleebs. Is it Maleebs or Malibs? Malibs or Maleebs? We'll just say Maleebs 207. You know, one thing I would strongly advise is don't limit yourself to a certain pool of topics, because if you do, you're gonna get keep your channel pretty open-ended. You know, don't be too targeted, because if you're too targeted, you're going to probably burn out. And it's not burning out because you're not happy with the YouTube experience. It's creator burnout due to not having enough topics to discuss. And that's one of the things with this channel. You know, everything, whether it's educational, entertaining, maybe a combination of both. Skits, gaming, TikToks, end credits, drawing reviews, very cool, and technology. I think out of what you just said, the drawing reviews is very cool. And the reason I would say that is that, you know, that's something that's pretty greenfield, and it appeals to most every demographic, you know. And if you can kind of find that stuff that's not going to go out of style, that you can always pretty much have a large viewership, that's the kind of stuff that can really put you on the map. And and speaking of technology, find that technology that the internet's not yet saturated with. Become an early adopter. Obsess yourself with that technology and share your journey with your viewers. And you'll be amazed at the types of questions that'll be raised, the type of knowledge that'll be shared. I mean, that's one of the most powerful things about YouTube. If you just find topics and latch on to them, the people will come. And I'm excited, and the freaking delivery person hasn't come yet, but I've got these things coming from my golf clubs. You know, playing golf, that's another greenfield activity. It's always been, well, not always been around, but it's been around for many years. It's probably not going to be discontinued, and it can be enjoyed by all age groups, every demographic. You know, golf can be enjoyed by everyone. So one of the things I'm excited about are these sensors that you put in the ends of your clubs, and they detect the club you were using, and they also keep up with your yardage for each club. And over time, it starts to function as a virtual caddy that'll recommend, like, okay, I'm 90 yards out, which club should I hit? Or I'm on the tee box, but it's a dog leg to the left. You know, I can't necessarily make it. You know, if I hit my driver, I'm probably going to go into the rough. You know, what's the best club to position myself in the middle of the fairway where it bends? You know, that sort of stuff. So having a virtual caddy is that's invaluable. So, you know, there's a lot of cool technology out there. Technology that can blend with real world experiences. James, how's the Maine Coon cat? Oh, he's doing well. If you checked out the video, it's been about over a year now. We had to rehome him. Lesson learned with cats. You know, have the kids before the cats, because the cats may not adapt. So yeah, it was a tough choice, but we had to do what we had to do, and it's he's happy though. He's in a good home, and he is doing well. But it was a big disappointment having to rehome him. That was not cool. But yeah, the technology is a big thing, because you can blend technology just as I just illustrated with the sensors that go into golf clubs. You can blend technology with activities that historically were not technology centric. But now, by leveraging technology, one is able to take a game that's been around for a long time, golf, and embed those little sensors in the ends of the clubs, and make the golfing experience not just a matter of going out and having a good time, but being able to collect that data to show improvement, to collect that data to enable you to play the game and not have to use, there's an app that goes with it, but the app is secondary, meaning that, you're focused on the game. You're swinging the clubs. You don't have to punch in and the club that you're about to hit and this, that, and the other into an app. It does that for you. So you keep your mind on the game, but as you play the game and as you've played many rounds of golf, you've collected all that data. So the app gets to know you as a golfer, not just you as a golfer, but your equipment and your capabilities with that equipment, and it can make recommendations. So it's a pretty cool, blending technology with a game that historically has not been a technologically advanced game. I mean, it's just been a stick with a club head on the end and a ball and a tee. It hasn't been that technologically advanced of a game. But now, by leveraging these tools, it's going to change it. And I'm excited about that. I have two Maine Coon cats, Fluffy Muffy, gray and white, and Sunshine is orange. Very cool. Man, they are definitely the best cats. Yeah, it was disappointing. It still is, but the first few months was horrible not having him around in the house. But he's happy, and it's just had to do what we had to do, but we'll adopt another cat in the near future, definitely. First show. But yeah, I hope your YouTube channel does really well. I'm excited to hear your stories, and if you ever want to do a YouTube collaboration video, just hit me up. Brad, how's the DJI FPV? The DJI first person view. Brad here has the DJI FPV. And everyone out there, if you're looking for the DJI FPV, go to epicdroneshow.com and click buy a drone. You can find it and all the other drones there too, and accessories, epicdroneshow.com. But Brad took the plunge, got the DJI FPV. He's been on the last few shows. He seems to really be enjoying the DJI FPV, and that's cool. Have you been hassled yet? Have you run into anybody that's giving you flack about wearing goggles and flying a drone, or has it still been a hassle-free experience? I shouldn't say hassle, I should say hustle. If people come up and try to hustle you and be like, hey man, you're wearing goggles, I don't know. I don't know. It does look fun though. I'm sure you're having a good time with it, and that's what matters, man. Having a good time. I'm having a good time, man. I burned not as much as I need to. I burned 200 calories. Brad says, no, everyone thinks it's cool when you show them. Very cool. Have you run into LEOs, law enforcement officers? Have you run into any of those types that have been around while you've been flying? And if so, did they say anything positive or negative about the drone? That's kind of the thing I'd be curious about. It's just people have gotten, I don't know, it's just gotten crazy. Man, burning this fat off. Good workout. Glad y'all all got to tune in today. This has been good. And like I said, tomorrow, Saturday, probably around 5 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. New York City time, plan to have a live show from the studio. So excited about that. I like these walk shows, but again, I really like the studio shows. Completely different animals, completely different delivery, but YouTube Live, man, it's still, it's been around for a while, but YouTube Live is still the future. I mean, this platform is the YouTube that we all know today is only going to get bigger and more awesome. And all of us that are using this platform, I know there's a lot of other platforms out there, but it's hard to preference any of those other platforms over YouTube. I mean, it's just YouTube is so solid. They really are. And just always a good experience, hosting live shows and posting content, and just the thrill of editing the videos. And most importantly, actually going out and, when you're capturing those videos for YouTube, you're having to get out and participate in all these adventure activities, and it's always a good thing. So, but yeah, I mean, it's one thing that I would highly encourage everyone to do. If you've started a YouTube channel, maybe you haven't started one yet. I know there's always that tendency to want to what they say, partner up. Become a member of a multi-channel network, a YouTube MCN. Nothing wrong with those. And I'm not trying to badmouth any of the individual networks. That's not my intent. But what I would encourage anyone to do that wants to become successful on YouTube is do it yourself. Remain independent. Don't let go of any of your creation. You've created your channel. Keep yourself at the top of that totem pole. You're the king of your YouTube channel. Don't become a partner of some network and potentially use some of your creative control. Because there's nothing worse than doing something where someone else is dictating what they want. Because if you hit that point with any activity, that activity transitions from a pleasurable activity. And just because something's pleasurable doesn't mean it can't be profitable. But anytime that, you get other people involved and then they start calling the shots, at that point, what you've created doesn't matter anymore, because it's gotten to be, you're not the sole person in charge. There's other people calling the shots, and that's no fun. And then you start to lose interest, and then it starts to feel like a job, and you've ruined what could have been something great had you just retained, your sole ownership of the channel, and not partnered up or anything like that. So, something I encourage everyone to do is keep all of your own creative control. It may be tough in the beginning. You may feel like some people that that join networks, they may have grown a little bit more rapidly. But what you may not realize is that to get that, number one, they may have really wanted a certain topic as part of their multi-channel network. So they may have really invested their resources into more rapidly propelling that YouTube content creator. Will that continue? Will they continue to really pump the resources in and grow a certain YouTuber? Or do they get them to a certain point and say that's where they need to be in their network and they let them go? So then at that point, you're stuck with, you may have experienced faster than normal subscriber growth, video view growth, but when they turn that faucet off and they stop, preferencing your content over other creators on their network, you may find that now you're stuck in a place where you no longer have 100% creative control because you've partnered up they're taking a cut of your ad revenue, and then it just starts to feel like a mistake. So keep that in mind. And I'm not saying that multi-channel networks are bad, but I'm saying look at the future. Peer into what the future may become and really question, is it worth the risk? So for me, again, slow and steady, choose your content wisely, try to find things that are exciting to you. Even if you don't know a lot about it, learn with your audience, share your content, ask questions. You can create your own empire. It just takes commitment, it takes passion. And it doesn't have to mean that everything is Hollywood quality production. It doesn't have to be like that. You can get out and live stream like I am right now with a phone pointing at your feet. It doesn't matter. Remain engaged. Publish content on a regular basis. Engage with your audience. You can do it. Y'all can all do it. So with that being said, appreciate your viewership, your support. Again, tomorrow, Saturday, probably around 5 p.m. New York City time, I'm going to try to do a live show from the studio. So feel free to, as soon as I pop up that live show notification, mark your calendar, tune in live, super chat if you want to, share with your friends, share with people you don't even know. Let's make this channel continue to grow. I appreciate your viewership and your continued support, and wish y'all all the best of success with your YouTube channels as well. Thanks for your viewership. Be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/IrixGuy.